people in bed scrolling, which is crazy, right? Like looking at your screen before bed is like Superman bathing in kryptonite. That's what it does to your sleep. It just makes it crap. Welcome back to another episode of Thrive Mode Radio. I'm your host, Marcus MacKay. And so, I have some better Wi-Fi. I have some better video and some better microphone. It's because I'm back in Canada and I'm so glad to be back. The last 6 weeks, I spent 2 weeks in Costa Rica with my mother, which was awesome for her birthday. One of my personal goals each year is to be able to take my family on a trip to create memories. Something I've always wanted to do. And so this year I was able to do it for the first time. Unfortunately, my dad and my brother weren't able to come, but hey, we got a trip planned for next year as well. But it became very clear living in Costa Rica and living in Tulum that my life, or what's important to me, isn't the life of leisure. And I think a lot of us right now, especially with COVID, we think that, hey, we want to get out and we want to escape to paradise. And that's where happiness is. And it became very clear to me, as much as I love trips and I love breaks and recovery, and that's what we coach, taking a step back from the hustle, I personally believe that the paradise is when you're working towards and you're doing things that are important to you when it comes to your personal, professional, and physical body. The daily actions is the paradise. The process is the paradise. Anyways, today's podcast isn't about that. Today's podcast is about everything that might be getting in the way of you achieving all your goals. And I know this podcast is related to health and fitness, but I believe what I'm going to present today is going to have an amazing impact in all aspects of your life. So I get a lot of questions about, hey Marcus, what should I add to my exercise routine? What exercise is best for this? Or, what do I need to start eating? All these things, and these are additions. And I think one of the most powerful things that you can do is actually subtract, is actually think about, okay, what's my Achilles heel? What's getting in the way? Right? Because we know that if we train and we get enough exercise in, but we're not on top of our nutrition, we're over consuming, we're over our calorie budget, we're not going to reach our goals, or we're not going to lose fat. If we have a poor mindset, but we're still, eating well and sleeping well, but, we're in our head and self-sabotaging, we're not going to thrive in life. So I want to talk today about the 5 S's that are sabotaging your success. So I'm just going to walk through them, and I think it's going to really hit home for you today. So the first one is scrolling. And so this is something that I'm working on and I've written in my journal often, is things I need to stop doing, scrolling. And if you're trying to change a habit, I suggest you reinforce it every single day through writing it out, through checking it off, just making sure that it becomes top of mind. So scrolling, the hours you spend doing mindless bullshit on your phone, iPad, computer, just scrolling. Maybe it's procrastination, maybe it's addiction. Remember, there's people in Silicon Valley that are the best of the best trying to get you to be addicted to their products. So think about what you scroll. Are they serving you? Hey, I don't have time. But if I check your Apple usage, if I were to pull up your phone, people have told me, hey Marcus, I don't have time to exercise. I was like, okay, cool. Show me your phone. And they say, what? Show me your phone. And these people are spending like 5 hours on their phone every single day. And they say they don't have time. No, you don't. It's not a priority. So scrolling can be a huge limitation to what you're curating in your brain. If you're scrolling the wrong shit, right? Like things that are negative, things that are curating your brain to think negatively or think less of yourself, like that's crap. Get it out. If you're scrolling things that are not serving you or adding to your life, get it out. So I would do a huge audit. One of the biggest things I've done is I don't touch my phone. I have 2 phones. I have a professional phone, which has Instagram and all this stuff, because I post daily. I'm on my phone, and because it's for business. I have a phone that has all that stuff, and then I have a personal phone that has nothing. It only has Spotify, my health trackers, my Aura stuff. So I can jump to my personal phone on weekends and when I'm not at work, right? Because I don't even want to be enticed by my phone. So the biggest thing, I don't touch my work phone until 10 a.m. Right? I don't go on Instagram till about noon. I post between about 12 and 2 because I want to own my day. And I know I'm like everyone else. If I get buried in this doom scrolling, I'm screwed. So the first one is, your first sabotage is scrolling. All right. The second one, sitting. And I know I'm sitting right now and I typically stand, but regardless of how much you exercise, how much of the mobility, all the stuff you do, but if you sit all day, if your inactivity is, in the 6 to 10 hours a day where you're sitting for that long, you're doing harm to your body, you're doing harm to your health. You're offsetting all the work you're putting in the gym. I see people in the gym working out, they're doing all the same stuff, and their bodies stay the same day after day. It's because some of these things that they're doing on a regular basis are their Achilles heel. Like if they just stood for most of the day, they got a standing desk, or before they worked, at lunch and after work or after dinner, they just did 15-minute walks, quick. It would remarkably change their sense of well-being, their mental state. It would drastically improve their body composition, right? When we walk after eating, it helps with insulin sensitivity, right? So that's super important. So after you eat, there's a lot of backing as to why we should move each day. Our ancestors probably walked about 30,000 steps per day. And I know 10,000 people like 10,000. That's just a goal. Right? It doesn't really mean anything. I would suggest you walk about 8 to 12,000 steps a day. Right? In the summertime, when the days are longer, you have a little more energy, definitely get that step count out. But sitting is sabotaging your results. So the third S that's sabotaging your success is sleep, or a lack thereof. So when I was younger and I was coming up, young trainer, I thought sleep was for the weak. I could sleep when I was dead, but I was wrong. There just wasn't enough research on sleep and how that impacts, our mental ability, our physical ability. And so I think a lot of people, especially how the modern age talked about scrolling, people in bed scrolling, which is crazy, right? Like looking at your screen before bed is like Superman bathing in kryptonite. That's what it does to your sleep. It just makes it crap. So the procrastination piece is what I think people need to stop doing, is that people have a long day at work, whatever, and they believe that the only free time is before bed. And so they lengthen that time by, instead of watching one episode of Netflix, they bury 3. And they get that notification that, hey, are you still watching? And they say, yeah, fuck you. Anyways, when it comes to procrastinating your sleep, I get it. You want free time. You want a sense of freedom. Maybe you think your belief system is that I don't need to sleep, or sleep is impacting, is going to take away. But let me tell you something. Sleep is taking away, is sabotaging your success in so many ways. Because when you're underslept, you wake up more irritable. You're not pleasant to be around. Maybe you need to come home and you have kids, or you want to be there for your partner and you just don't have the energy. And so you snap quickly, right? You can't show up as your best, or you snooze the alarm because you didn't go to bed on time and now you're missing your training sessions, and it's just this domino effect. So the third S that's sabotaging most people's success is sleep. Number 4, sugar. And this is one of my vices. One of my February habits is to remove all sugar, because I've been traveling, I've been eating out, Christmas. I have that brain pathway as well. Like I love I love sweet, hyperpalatable things. And so for me, it makes sense just to not eat sugar. Because if you give me the right thing, I will bury the entire thing. And so I know I'm saying bury a lot. I must be watching a lot of hockey, but I'm not. Anyways, when it comes to sugar, There are certain foods that are manufactured that make us overconsume. And you've probably felt this way, where you eat something and you can't stop eating it. It's like this food has hijacked your brain. And it has. It's engineered, processed, to make sure that you eat as much as possible so you continue to buy as much as possible. And I'm not talking about sugar from fruits. Hey, that's a myth. Okay? Eat fruit. People who eat fruit tend to be leaner and live longer. Okay, so sugar from fruit, go ahead, right? Try and have 2 to 3 servings a day. But sugar, and you know exactly, think about a food right now that's in your house or that you eat on a regular basis that you can't just get enough of. That is likely the main thing that's sabotaging your success. Let's say I want to get lean, but I'm addicted to sugar, or I'm addicted to the certain thing. What I would suggest is finding a replacement for that thing. So maybe it's ice cream at the end of the day. You have ice cream and then you have the cookie dough, whatever it is. So I'm just talking from my own enjoyment. Cookie dough and ice cream are the most beautiful. Anyways, you find a replacement. Maybe it's a coconut ice cream. Maybe, there's things like Halo Top. There's things that are much more calorie friendly. Because if you go straight from having sugar every single night or at every single meal and you go cold turkey, I don't think that's going to be manageable. So finding substitutions for your sugar is going to be key for your success. Sugar. I know. You're looking at me like, no, I'm not cutting that out. But I promise you, you'll have way better energy. You'll feel way better about yourself. Your body will transform. I think sugar is really sabotaging a lot of people's success. Point number 5. So I wanted to make this point last is because I think it is part of the domino for a lot of the other ones, most of them. And I did a full episode on stress management. So if you want to check that out, I give some great tools and protocols to manage your stress, because don't let stress manage you. You got to manage it. So when it comes to stress, this becomes very, very hard to overcome for most people. They get in their head, they look for comfort in foods, they look for comfort in other things like alcohol and all this stuff. So if we can manage our stress, a lot of other things start to shape up. So what are some things that you can do? I don't know you yet, but what are some things that you can do to remove the stressors from your life or help you manage them better? Because let's say you're not getting enough sleep, you're eating high sugar, you're on your phone constantly, you're sitting all the time, and you have a high-paced job, or you have a high stressful environment, you have a lot of things to go in the family. How do you think your body's going to respond? Really poorly. So when it comes to stress, don't let it be the domino that makes you take action on all the other things. Because stress can either debilitate you or it can empower you. That's the mindset shift. That it's something I step up for. Right? When I'm in a stressful environment, I'm getting better. That's exactly what training is. When you resistance train, when you work out, you are stressing your body in a positive way. If you step into your work, your family life, into stressful situations, think of it as you're getting better. I'm up to a new challenge. That is going to help you. And when you do get stressful and you do need an outlet, don't go for the Baskin Robbins. So let me wrap us up. So when it comes to achieving Thrive Mode, instead of thinking about all the things you need to start doing, let's think about all the things that you're doing that are sabotaging your success. Is it scrolling? Are you just spending way too much time on your phone? Are you consuming bad media? Are you not being present with your family? All these things are important, right? If you're consuming negative media all the time, or the first thing you do when you wake up is pick up your phone, you're renting out your consciousness. You're letting the world make your mind instead of you making your mind. Follow me? When you pick up your phone first thing in the morning, you're letting the world run your day instead of you running your day. The second thing, are you just sitting too much? You're exercising, you're eating fairly well, but you sit on your ass for 10 hours a day, right? You sit when you work, and you sit in your car when you go home, and then you sit for dinner, and then you sit on your couch to watch TV. Let's stand a little more. Let's get some walks in. It's going to have a dramatic impact on your life in a positive way. Is sleep sabotaging your success? Are you not getting good enough rest time? Are you delaying your sleep? Are you procrastinating on it? Those are things that are impacting your gains. Is sugar getting in the way? If you just tighten up your sugar consumption and started picking substitutions or alternatives that are going to have a way more positive effect on your body and your mind, would that help you out big time? Probably. And the fifth thing is stress. Right? Remember, a life without stress is a life without meaning, because we stress about the things we care about. But the most important thing is, when we stress, we have to view it as challenges. When life gets stressful, that means you're getting better. Right? So I hope this episode was helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're interested about the Emperform coaching programs, you can visit my website at www.marcusmackay.co. I'd love to hear from you, and thanks so much for your time.